Hello everyone. Today we will know a little bit more about auxiliary verbs. What are they? How are they used? And what is it that you have to take care while using them? So let's begin our session on this topic of auxiliary verbs. We all know that verbs mean action words. But verbs are basically of two types, main verbs and helping verbs. Main verbs are the main action words that denote the actual action being taken place. Whereas the helping verbs are those verbs which come before the main verb and help it to identify more or to give more information about it. A helping verb is also called as auxiliary verb, and that is exactly what we are going to learn about today. Auxiliary verbs are of four basic types: be, do, have, and modal verbs. Now, the three auxiliary verbs be, do, and have can work as both action verbs or as the helping or auxiliary verbs. And modal verbs we have just seen in our past video. Modal verbs refer to words like can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, dare, ought to, etc. These are the modal verbs. The modal verbs also help the main verb because modal verbs cannot exist without the main verb in a sentence. So all these helping verbs, when taken together along with the main verb, can form a verb phrase. Now what's a verb phrase? A phrase is a group of words. And when this group of words have verb as acting as the main thing in it, then it is called as a verb phrase. Just have a look at a table which will be right in front of you, which will display the various forms of these verbs and in which kind of tenses are they used. Just have a look. The verb be has got forms like is, am, are in the present tense, was, were in the past tense, being in the progressive, and been in the perfect tense. The forms of do are do, does in the present tense and did in the past tense. And the different forms of have are has and have in the present tense, had in the past tense, and having in the progressive tense or continuous tense. Let's see some examples where we can know how the auxiliary verbs be, do, and have a dual nature, that is, they act like both an auxiliary verb and as a main verb. So let's analyze these sentences first. Look at the first sentence. Freddie is Frank's elder brother. Now, if you look at this sentence, the verb here is, which is the present form of be. Now, since there is no other verb in the sentence, is here acts like a main verb. Look at the next sentence again. Frank is helping Freddie with his finances. Okay, now look here. Now, the main verb here is helping. But before helping, I have another verb form of be, that is. Now, if you have a main verb and before it you have another verb acting as a helping verb, then this is called as helping or auxiliary verb. Now, in this sentence, the same is acting like an auxiliary verb. So, it is doing both the work. Come to the next sentence. Frank has a huge farm. There is no other verb except has. Has is a present form of have. Correct. So here has becomes the main verb. But when you look at the next sentence, you can see Frank has bought the farm for Freddie. The main verb here becomes the bought, but this main verb is helped by has. And so has here will become an auxiliary verb. Look at the third one. Frank did a lot to help Freddie to repay his loans. Now here the main verb is did. But in the next sentence, Frank didn't want Freddie to go bankrupt. Now here the main verb is want, but this main verb is helped by didn't. So here didn't, which is the past form of do, acts like an auxiliary verb. Now that we know that auxiliary verbs can act as both main verb and the helping verb, let's have a look at each auxiliary verb one by one. Let us know how they are used and some examples on each. Now here are the uses of be as an auxiliary verb along with an example on each use. Let's see what are these. In progressive or continuous tense, when we are using continuous tense, whether it is present or past or future, with ing form of the verb, we write is, am, are, was or were. So that is with the continuous tense. For example, she is waiting for her result. Now if waiting is the main verb, is here becomes the auxiliary verb. And if you look at the tense, it is in the progressive or continuous form. We won't be staying there for long. Now look here, there are two types of verbs, or let's say there are maybe three types of verbs here. Won't, be and staying. Now won't is a modal auxiliary verb. Modal verbs also acting as auxiliary we just saw in the table. Be is the basic form of auxiliary verb which is acting here as the helping verb, and the main verb here is staying, which is in the continuous form. Now the verb be can also be used in the passive form, like in active passive voice. Look here, the cake is baked by my mom. Now this sentence is in passive voice, but where is the auxiliary verb here? Is. In passive form, we always use the auxiliary verb and the third form of the main verb. Now auxiliary verb be can also be used to ask questions like, are the students writing their exams? So here are is the auxiliary verb which is used. But to answer the questions, we may sometimes use shortcuts in our answers. And what do we say? Yes, they are. Okay, so if we answer like this, yes, they are, then here are again becomes an auxiliary verb. Come to the last use of this auxiliary verb, to make question tags. Now I have already made a video on question tags. I hope you have seen it. And in question tags, we usually use the auxiliary verb along with the subject, right? If you remember. Okay, just look at the sentence. She wasn't over speeding. Was she? Now here, was becomes the auxiliary verb and can be used in the tag. The auxiliary verb have has got various forms like has, have in the present tense, had in the past tense, and having in the progressive or continuous tense. Just as we saw about the various forms of be, the same are the points for have. But have is used in perfect tenses or perfect continuous tenses with been. Let's look at the examples on each. In perfect or perfect continuous tenses, we use has or have. If it's in past, we will use the word had. Now, one thing that you have to remember here is, in perfect tenses, after has, have or had, we will always have the main verb in the third form. She has finished her work. Now, finished here is the main verb in the third form, but in this kind of tense, we will always write has as the auxiliary verb. They have been waiting for 2 hours. Now here, since this is a perfect continuous tense, we are going to use here the form of have. So have here becomes the auxiliary verb. Waiting here becomes the main verb in the progressive form, and in perfect continuous kind of a tense, we always add the word been here. Now, have can also be used to form passive voice, but with the help of the word been. Look here, all the bills have been paid. So in passive voice, whenever you have the word have or had, it will always be followed by the verb been in passive. Next, we can use it to ask questions like, has Jane passed the exam? Have you played outside? Have they finished their work? And things like that. So has or have or had can be used as a question word also. And then to answer these questions, we can answer in short like, yes, she has. So here again, we can use it to answer the questions in short form. Like we can, as if we have given the answer to this previous question. Now the next one is to make question tags. Again, in the main sentence, if you have this word has as the auxiliary verb, then the same verb can be used in the question tag. And I hope you remember that while making question tag, if the statement is positive, the tag becomes negative. While if the statement is negative, the tag becomes positive. Next, we come to the different forms of do. In present tense, the different forms are does or do. In past tense, it is did. The auxiliary verb do can be used in negative or imperative sentences, or it can also be used to put an emphasis, ask questions, answer the questions in short form, and make question tags. Let's see examples on each one of the use. To form negative and imperative statements, if you want to form a negative statement using do, then the negative form is don't or doesn't or didn't. Like here, I don't like eating junk food. So here the don't becomes auxiliary verb. Don't cross the yellow line. Now this is an imperative statement. Imperative statements are commands, requests, orders, suggestions, advice, etc. So since this is an imperative statement, the don't here acts like an auxiliary verb. Please don't go. Now this is a request, again an imperative. We have the verb don't here. To create an emphasis. Now look at this one. I want to help you. I want to help you is a simple declarative sentence. But if you want to emphasize on the verb want, then you put do before it. It's like putting an emphasis on your words. And then it becomes, I do want to help you. The meaning is the same, but the intention of the speaker is a little different. When the speaker uses do, it means that he really wants that thing to be happened. But just I want to help you is like any other statement. To frame questions, you can also use the auxiliary verb did. Did they inform the police? So here did becomes a verb. To give short answers. Okay, now to this question, if I want to answer in short, then I can say yes, they did. To make question tags again, since I have the word don't here in the main sentence, I will use that word and make a question tag out of it. You don't have the answer, do you? So now here do can be used in making question tags. modals, also called as modal auxiliaries, because modals also act like helping verbs to the main verb. And let's count, what do the modals do? They express ability, possibility, necessity, obligation, permission, etc. So all these are in front of you, and other than that are also there. Let's look at a few examples on modals and how are they used while framing a question, while answering a question in short, and in question tags. Okay, to express possibility, probability, necessity, obligation, ability, permission, orders, etc., I have a few examples written in front of you. He could sit and talk every day. So, could here becomes the modal auxiliary verb, because here the main verb is sit and talk. We must pay our taxes on time. So, because pay here is a main verb, must is an auxiliary verb. So, it's a modal auxiliary verb. I would rather be at home than go with you. So, here would becomes the modal auxiliary. I dare not face him. So what is the modal auxiliary here? Dare, correct. Now modal auxiliaries are also used to frame sentences like, can you see the tiny dot in the sky? So can here becomes the modal auxiliary verb. And to give a short answer to the same question, I have written, yes, I can. Then again you can use it to make question tags like, they should come to the class on time. Shouldn't they? So shouldn't there becomes the modal auxiliary verb. So here we finish all the rules and regulations and the various types of auxiliary verbs. But before I go, as usual, I've got a small exercise for you which will help you recap all the points that we have discussed today. So let's start. Sunita dash work here anymore. Now for your understanding, I have mentioned the auxiliary verb, the base form of the verb in the bracket, so that you can use that verb in its appropriate form. But in case you haven't been given anything in the bracket, then you have to look at the sentence, pick out the hint words of that particular tense and use it. But it's very easy. I'm sure you'll be able to do it. But let's start with this exercise today. Sunita dash work here anymore. Do. Now which form of do will I fill in here? Now that depends on the subject. Sunita is singular. So for singular subject, do will become does. Had I some plural subject here, then I would have written do. But for singular one, I will change it in does. So I'm going to make it does. But if you look at the sense of the sentence, it means negative. So this can be changed into negative. And I'll write Sunita doesn't work here anymore. Next one, I really dash love you my son, and the verb given is do. Now when you read this sentence, it gives you an emphatic meaning, right? And we can use do to give an emphatic meaning to the main verb. So which form will I use here? I really do, because with I, please remember that whenever you are filling the verb, you should always look at the subject verb first. The verb has to match the subject. So the verb has to be either singular or plural according to the singular or plural subject. With I, although I is singular, but we consider it as plural. So with I will use do, not does. Remember this. Next, dash you heard the latest news, and the auxiliary verb is have. Okay, now what is the subject here? You is the subject. So with you, which form will I use of have? Has, have. Which one? Have, correct. It will never be has you. It will be have you. So I will write here have you heard the latest news. The next one. They dash singing old classical songs and the verb given to you is be. Now what are the different forms of be? Is, am, are in the present tense and was, were in the past. Now here there is no mention of the tense. Suppose you have been given past tense, then you will use were here. And why were? Because the subject here is plural. Now, because we do not have any hint about the tense to be used here, I may write here they are, or I can also write here they were. Come to the last one. Dash I come in, sir, please. Now here you have to use a model. If you look at the sentence, it's a request. Okay. And for request, we have models like could or may. So what would you like to add here? You could either write could I come in, sir, please, or you can also write here may I come in here. May I come in, sir, please. So that's a golden rule which you must never forget, that whenever you are filling in the verbs, look at the subject first. For a singular subject, you will always fill in singular form of verb, whereas for a plural subject, you will always fill in plural form of the verb. So that was a lovely session on auxiliary verbs. I hope you understood the different types of auxiliary verbs, how they work as an auxiliary or the main verb depending on a sentence. What are the different types of each auxiliary verb as per the tense, and in what ways you can use them. But that's all in this session. I need to wrap up my video. In my next video, I'll come up with a new topic for you of your interest. Till then, take good care of yourself and goodbye.